Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another British Esports Association stream. I'm Elliot, of course, your host, and thank you very much for joining me today. We've obviously had a really busy weekend with our championships going over Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's a fantastic turnout, some really great games, and overall just a great vibe from all the community. It's wicked to see so many of you there in number supporting us, showing the kids their appreciation and just watching the games and being great supporters that you are. So in other updates, we've got another special announcement coming on Wednesday. I can't reveal anything about it just yet, but please tune in to us at 4 p.m. on Wednesday afternoon, where you will be receiving a special announcement from the British Esports Association. And yeah, fingers crossed, we'll be back on Friday with a You Are Not Alone special, although that's to be confirmed. And then today with me, I have our special guest, Polly Morgan, who's going to be talking through some digital skills from idea.org.uk. In other British esports news, we've got a busy streaming schedule coming up in May. Get some more out to you in the next week or so with regards to that, so we get a bit more of a confirmed schedule for you as soon as possible. But for now, let's go and say hello to Polly. Hi, Polly. How are you doing?
Hi, Elliot. I'm okay. Really well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, great stuff. Yeah, no, love your glasses. They look fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Gosh, you must be, what a busy weekend you guys have had.
Yeah, it's been
Um,
brilliant. Yeah,
yeah,
we've had
really amazing.
some incredible numbers to see from the statistics side of things, and the support in the chat was just phenomenal. Really great love shown all round. So yeah, very very happy with the championships, even though it was supposed to be live and ended up being online. But in this time and this very special time, unique situation that we're all in, you can just only do what you can do, can't you? So
Yeah,
we were
yeah,
very happy with that overall. How are you?
yeah, very well, thank you. Had a really lovely weekend. Enjoyed the sunshine. From my flat.
Yeah.
Although, but yeah, I mean, like everybody, in lockdown life, it's got new challenges, but it's been quite exciting seeing how the rest of the team at Idea have been able to sort of adapt and work work around it.
Yeah, it's fun,
We're
isn't
quite
it, seeing...
fortunate with
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying we're quite fortunate with Idea being a digital platform that we are very sort of capable of adapting and just running things without being sat in the same room altogether.
Yeah, it's a similar story here from British Esports, but it's funny to see some of the unique ways that some organisations have come up with their home working situations. There's definitely been some, well, some unique ones to say the least. So, could you just tell me a little bit about yourself? Kind of what inspires you to work with Idea and your background, really.
Yeah. So when I was growing up, I hadn't really considered that I might end up working in digital. I was super creative, quite shy, but I knew most of all that I wanted my work to be meaningful and to make a difference. So when I left uni, I moved to Zambia, where I volunteered for a conservation charity. Whilst I was there, I lived in a tent in a national park. And at the time, I was able to support myself by working on graphic design and illustration projects thanks to my laptop, which
Wow.
I tether to my phone's hotspot whenever there was 3G. Um, so I might have been quite late to the party, but it took being somewhere where often there was no power and no internet for me to really understand and realize the potential that digital technology has to empower, enable, and connect people.
Brilliant. Wow.
Um, yeah, so now I feel incredibly fortunate and very grateful to be running Idea, a non-profit that's making quite a big impact.
That's fantastic. I mean, just tell us a little bit more about Idea, because there's probably some people in here who've never heard of it, don't know anything about it.
Sure. So IDEA is short for the Inspiring Digital Enterprise Award, which is a completely free open access learning platform offering bite-sized interactive courses which work on any device, anywhere you can be online. So on idea.org.uk, you'll find over 70 different bite-sized modules in the form of interactive digital badges that help people learn new skills and get recognition for the skills they've learned. So doing badges on IDEA can help you boost your digital literacy, skills, knowledge, and confidence.
Wow. Um, what's the history behind Idea?
So we are increasingly dependent on digital technology in life and at work, especially now. Um, So having good digital skills really matters, and the fact that there are millions of people who do not have essential digital skills is a real problem. So often you hear people talk about the digital skills gap and the digital skills divide. IDEA is here to help close that gap. IDEA helps people of all ages become better digital citizens, workers, makers, entrepreneurs, and gamers. IDEA is often referred to as being the digital equivalent to the Duke of Edinburgh Award. So like the Duke of Edinburgh Award, there are bronze, silver and gold levels on IDEA. And we launched the bronze award actually at the start of 2017, the silver award towards the end of 2018, and the gold award will be coming next. For teachers and facilitators, IDEA is very flexible and easy to work with. The badges are all self-explanatory and can be completed on any device as long as it's connected to the internet. You can also register your organisation on IDEA so that you can manage and support groups of learners. So we have people from, ranging from school pupils, college and university students, apprentices, job seekers, youth groups, adults, education groups, business leaders, entrepreneurs, educators and pensioners, all using IDEA to help support the skills that they need for work, life, sort of vocational soft skills development, as well as a range of specialist subjects like computer science and IT. So
Wow.
despite the fact that there are hundreds of thousands of students using IDEA, we are seeing lots and lots of adults enjoying and benefiting IDEA from using IDEA too for their own sort of personal and professional development.
Of course, it really covers a lot of stuff. Wow, that's fantastic. Uh, so, I mean, just off the top of my head, how many badges and awards do you have?
So
Do you even
Elliot,
know?
well, actually, on Friday, I was so excited. We reached a really, really significant milestone on IDEA. We actually tipped over 5 million badges being
Wow,
completed. So I checked in this morning. Actually, we've had another 20,000 since then.
that's
Um,
incredible. 5
it's
million badges. Imagine
it's
sewing them all
amazing.
onto your sleeve.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. There are over 750,000 people who are using IDEA now in more than 100 countries around the world. So, um, yeah, when we last checked, actually, the youngest learner on IDEA is 8 and the oldest is 83. So, I mean, it's, as I said before, just a huge, huge range of people who are using IDEA and enjoying and benefiting from it too.
That's awesome. That's really great. So, well, I was literally, my next question was going to be about the numbers and the statistics. How many people, have got badges, how many have registered to use the service, and you've kind of covered those. Well, I mean, how many unique badges did you start with, for instance, in 2017? What was the number you came up with and said, right, okay, well, we're going to have 50 badges or whatever it was, and then how has that developed to however many you have today?
Um, do you mean how many badges are there available on IDEA or how many badges have people completed?
So I was asking how many were available when you initiated the program and how many are available now?
Okay, so
Sort of unique ones.
so when we started when we launched the Bronze Award in January 2017, I think there were just over 30
Okay.
different badges on the site. Now there are over 75 different badges that people can do, but these are badges that are actually on the IDEA website. So IDEA
Hmm.
also, we create sort of participation and experience badges that are accrediting real life events and learning activities as well. So with that all encompassing, there's just over 300 now. But again, they've been completed 5 million times.
So yeah, 5 million, that's a hell of a number. Have you seen any of, are they all specifically equally spread across the board on the 75 badges that you've got now? Or would you say that there's like a small proportion of, say, 10 that every one of those 5 million has done?
Yeah. Oh, that's really interesting. I don't know if if there is a badge that every single person has done. But interestingly enough, I think the citizen category on IDEA, which teaches people about sort of how to stay safe online, how to use social media sort of effectively and ethically, um, I think that is the most popular category on IDEA.
Hmm.
Um, because it really supports teachers and students as well while they're at school. But I mean, we have badges on, there's an animation badge, there's graphic design, There's how to stay safe online, how to use social media to support your business as well, so help you sort of find routes to market and get the word out. Um, I think also actually what's really interesting at the moment, we've been seeing lots of people complete the fake news badge on Idea, which I think goes back to something that Tom Dorr, I think Tom mentioned. I saw a stream a couple of weeks ago, maybe, that Tom was on here, and he was talking about how sort of as a result of the pandemic, he was thinking we were seeing a lot more clickbait and things.
Yeah.
So yeah, interestingly enough, the fake news badge has been very popular at the moment, which sort of helps people work on their critical thinking skills.
So since the lockdown, has that like become your most popular badge that people have been trying to learn about? I would have thought the being safe online would be more appropriate at this time, because people are
Yeah,
looking to protect themselves. But I guess fake news is more important.
yeah. I mean, it's up there. They're both. I mean, there's a few different badges that cover being safe online,
Hmm.
and I mean, there's obviously certain elements on the fake news badge go back to being safe online as well.
Okay, brilliant. Um, So how have you seen, I mean, I know we've touched a little bit about what the participants are doing, but how is IDEA coping throughout the lockdown? Are you progressing digitally in other areas? Are you changing your focus a little bit? How is the organization itself changing throughout this period of lockdown?
Yeah, well, so I mentioned we're obviously, as everyone, we're all working from home now. But I think, we have seen a significant increase of the amount of people that are using Idea. So since the start of lockdown, more than 100,000 people have completed 500,000 badges between them
Wow.
on Idea.
And
And
that's what,
we
5 weeks
actually
now,
did,
isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
just yeah, just over a month, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um, so we worked out that since the start of lockdown in the UK, on average, one Idea badge has been achieved every 6 seconds.
Wow.
Which, I mean, it's just amazing. It's really well done to everybody who is doing the badges. And so the team has been working incredibly hard to support this level of engagement. So, managing the servers and just keeping a close eye on things to make sure that Idea is able to support everybody that's using it. We've also been delivering some upgrades to better support teachers teachers and all other facilitators who are using Idea with students as they work from home. So we've sort of introduced a new dashboard where anybody who is sort of facilitating a group of learners is able to keep track and see which people in their groups have done which badges and when, so they can it's quite nice actually. We're seeing lots of talk on social media where particularly teachers are sort of giving shout outs to their students to say well done to them for whichever badges they've been completing, or whoever's got the most points that week. It's really, really cool.
Oh, brilliant. That's nice. Yeah, it's always nice to see like when you've got a sort of mini family doing something that, you've done that and oh, it's nice. Yeah, that's really
Yeah,
cool.
and it's been really, really nice actually to see teachers sort of telling parents as well about Idea. And so we're seeing whole families using Idea together, which is just wonderful because it really, really can support, well, as I said before, the youngest, sort of right through from 8 up until their grandparents who might be in their 80s.
And that's the other thing, of course, is once they can see each other's progress, they can support each other, encourage each other, and kind of get the ball
Yeah.
rolling even more. That's brilliant. That's really brilliant. Um, so, what links does IDEA have to, different industries? So I'm talking education industry, different career pathways, and this is kind of a very vague question for you, but I think you know where I'm going. Where can these employable skills and these digital fluency techniques help somebody get into a career?
Yeah, so we work with a range of organisations and industry experts to actually create our badges and to introduce Idea to a broad range of people. So some partners get involved because they see Idea as a way to help inspire, shape, and recruit the talent pipeline for their businesses, and also to help make a difference as part of a global community that enables digital skills education. So we work with schools, local authorities, charities, small businesses, large corporates, various educational establishments and community groups. Um, Idea is really here to help bridge that gap between education and employment, or enterprise self-employment, maybe. So Idea helps people all over the world enhance their chances on the job market and in life. Anyone who completes Idea badges can download, print or share a free portable digital career passport, which is the idea record of achievement. And when you have earned enough points from badges, you'll achieve an award that will help you stand out from the crowd when applying for jobs or further education or apprenticeships.
Okay, so it really doesn't matter kind of which industry, it's more about just achieving within the organisation, and that helps you stand out amongst other applicants.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, we've got 5 core categories on IDEA. So I think I touched on it earlier. There was
Yeah.
the citizen, worker, maker, entrepreneur, and gamer. So the worker category really covers sort of lots of different employability skills and skills for the workplace. There's some quite nice badges in there actually that give you a taste of what it's like to do a certain job. So there's a day in the life of an image specialist, for example. So you learn about working in a team, and you've got a creative director who's sort of setting you a challenge and giving you instructions as you're working,
Yeah.
which which is really, really cool. Again, then there's the entrepreneur category, which is about helping you understand how to bring your ideas and concepts to life. So yeah, I
Brilliant.
mean, it's quite all encompassing.
Tell us a little bit about the gamer badge, because I think that's
Yeah.
probably what most people here are interested in.
Yeah, so actually, the gamer category on IDEA will help you learn how to sort of, first of all, get an understanding about the games industry. You might even learn tips and techniques that may help you play better. But ultimately, it's really interesting because you can learn how to create your own games. And if you start on the silver award gamer category, there is lots and lots of really interesting stuff on there around that.
Brilliant. And did you say the gold category is coming this year, or?
So we almost never anticipated that IDEA would be quite as successful as it has been this early on. So I mentioned at the start that it's a non-profit, and we have relied entirely on grants and donations from generous supporters and partners. So the uptake we're seeing has meant that we've had to focus quite a lot of time recently to make sure that IDEA is financially able to sustain the rate at which we're growing. But although delayed, development work on Gold has started. We're just not quite at the stage where we're able to say exactly when it will be available on IDEA.
Okay, all right. Well, I think there'll probably be quite a lot of young people who are very interested in that and following that progress, as of course were we. So, I mean, just still on that subject, so we're just talking a little bit about the badge itself. Is there any particular modules or things inside tasks inside the badge that relate to directly to video games or playing games in some capacity?
Yes, I mean, there's all sorts of different badges that cover things about how to stay safe online, sort of cybersecurity. I think, with people who are playing games, quite often they are working on sort of they're getting more of an understanding of computational thinking and things like that. So there are modules on IDEA that support that. Again, there's a badge that we did with BAFTA Young Game Designers competition, which is all about how to create a game.
Oh, game design, yeah, cool. Did you do that via was it through a software platform, or was it written in code from scratch, or how did it work?
It's written. Do you mean how does somebody do the
so
game?
lots of kind of starter modules like that tend to use a program, either something like Game Maker or whichever studio it is that they're provided by. But I mean, it's sometimes you end up going to a developer course and they throw you right in at the deep end and say, right, you're not having any software to help you along the way, you're writing it in code from scratch. So I was just curious, I'm assuming you also had a software that kind of helps the students along the way.
Yes, within IDEA. I think certainly as you progress to gold, we would make it more difficult for learners, so they would have to do their own coding.
Okay, I see. I was just seeing a bunch of my mods having fun in the chat there, because I haven't turned off all of the stuff from yesterday's championships, and they're teasing me a little bit. If anybody is in the chat and you guys do have any questions for Polly that you want to ask, please feel free to throw them in. I will try to read those out. Of course, I can only read them out if there's not a load of spam from my bots. Thank you very much, guys. I've got one here from Sidenator. How useful are the badges for teachers to complete?
Ooh, I mean, pretty useful, I would say.
Not a biased
It,
opinion or anything.
no, I mean, obviously, I think they're very useful for everybody to complete. But no, I think it's particularly interesting for teachers to complete them because if they're going to, first of all, if you're setting it as work for your students, then it's really good if you've done it yourself. You can sort of lead the way, and then you know what you can help support them with as you go. But also, we're finding that teachers who are maybe less comfortable with technology in the classroom are finding that doing idea is helping increase their confidence actually, so that they feel better equipped to work
Do you think it's
well.
Do you think it spreads across the school? You know, for instance, if a teacher's gone, okay, I'm enjoying doing this idea project and I've earned this badge. You know, are they talking about it to their teachers who are there? You know, sharing it with their class. Do you think it spreads like this? Is it word of mouth basically, or is there kind of a big marketing campaign behind idea? I know you're not for profit, but you know, how
No,
do you
yeah.
think
So
probably how is it
it's
spreading?
it's really, really, yeah, we really rely on grassroots engagement and word of mouth. So it is very much, we've seen some teachers right from the beginning, we had some really early adopters who started using idea, who helped us sort of create idea, and they were doing beta testing and things. They became really passionate about it, used it with their students, and then, told other teachers about it. It spread throughout the school, and then it goes to the next school. And I think everybody likes to keep an eye on what each other are doing.
Yeah.
And when they see, I think what's really wonderful for students, especially, is when they see that their teachers have the award as well. So we've seen lots of teachers showing their students, well, look, I've got, because you actually get a certificate when you finish idea, when you achieve an award on idea. So they show off their certificate, and then it's something that their students want to aspire to as well.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Sorry, Squawk, I've seen your question as well, but just to follow up on this one. Thank you for the answer. He says, any modules in the future that will look in towards games journalism and or esports, which was one of my questions anyway, but we'll go with that.
Yes. So yeah, we really, really want to create lots of new content, particularly tailored around esports. And I think games journalism is a really interesting topic. So yeah, anybody that has any suggestions for new badges that they'd like to see on the platform, please do get in touch with us and let us know about them, because we want to make idea really, really valuable to you.
Yeah, I suppose it is, you know, as much about the participation as it is about the organisation as well. Brilliant. So just going back to Sir Squawk's question here. He's one of our moderators. Did a fantastic job yesterday casting the finals. So thank you, Squawk. Really great job, man.
Thank you. Well done, Squawk.
How easy is it to implement these badges into a CV? He asks.
So yes, if you go on idea, you can look at the record of achievement, which I spoke about earlier, which you can print off or share digitally at any time. And essentially it lists every single badge that you've done on idea and when you completed it. So you could, attach that to your CV, you could link to it on your LinkedIn page. It's a really good way to show future employers or further education what it is that you've done beyond just what you've been learning in the classroom or what you've been learning at work already.
I think it's an interesting topic is CVs, you know, being attached to a CV and things like that, because a lot of, particularly, I mean, I'm based in London, and obviously the job market here is a lot thicker and crazier than in other parts of the country. So there's a lot of automated, you know, CV reading, and it goes through the whole process. And it, you know, how long is it before it ends up on somebody's desk? And at that point, is this information of your, you know, your attached badge lists, is that still relevant? You know, is that something that you should be pushing through all the traditional large organizations that are going to process your CV digitally and probably filter it out? Think that makes an impact?
I think it does. And what's really interesting is that also on that record of achievement, we have sort of metadata for each of the learning outcomes or skills that you've been working on in those badges. So, if they're looking for certain skills, it might be a way that you're of quickly sort of highlighting and saying, yes, I've learnt this and I can prove that I've done it because here's the badge that I got.
So how many badges do you have, Polly?
I've got my bronze award and my silver award. I don't know off the top of my head how many badges I've got, but I have over 600 bronze points, which I'm very proud of.
Well done. How many
Thank
badges
you.
does it? How many awards do you need to earn to achieve the bronze award and then the silver award?
Yes, so to get the bronze award, you need to have 250 bronze points, and you also need to have 50 points from 4 core categories on idea, and the rest you can make up entirely however you would like. So it's I think you were going to ask how many badges do you need to get the award as well. Is that right, Elliot?
Possibly.
Okay.
I'm very
Well,
conversational. It depends what I think of at the time. So,
okay, so it kind of depends. The points is what really matters, but the points were made up from doing the badges, and each badge is worth a different amount of points. So some of them are worth sort of 2 points or 5 points or 8 or 10. So it really depends on which badges you do and how many points they're worth.
okay. So, I mean, does that mean that there are some modules that are, more valuable in terms of points? So, if you wanted to save a workload, you could potentially pick that one over 2 or 3 others in order to earn
Yeah,
big.
you could, but I mean, the modules that are worth more points tend to be slightly more difficult and
Mhm.
take longer to do. So you probably wouldn't be saving time. It just depends on what you're interested in. And then with silver, so there are different badges that you have to do for silver. So it sort of starts again. If you click on the silver award, you have to get 400 points at silver, but the silver badges again are worth sort of more points than the bronze ones.
Right. What about earning them retroactively then? So, say for instance, I haven't taken part in idea before, but I've done lots of these things that would achieve me a badge. Can I now go into idea and say, look, I've earned 10 badges or whatever it is?
Um, it depends. It depends if you've earned the badges because you've been attending a sort of idea accredited event or workshop, then yes. So actually, that would mean, yeah, you could, but really, I'm sorry, you just need to complete the badges on idea because they're
Yeah.
sort of modules that you work through at your own pace.
So I can't now say to you I've done all these things. You don't really necessarily know if I have. I have to do them through idea in order to achieve them. Okay,
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you do. But I mean, there are badges that we would award. We work with partners to award them to people who have taken part in activities. But then that would have been verified because whoever was the leader of that workshop would be the person to give out that badge.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, I've got a question here, and thank you very much for the follow, GM Gamer 3000. I've got a question here from them. Approximately how long does it take to complete a badge, and can I do this on my own or with others? I cannot believe this is completely free. It sounds incredible.
Yay! Thank you. It is, yeah, it's completely free and you can do it entirely by yourself or you could do it with friends or family, as I've said. So you can do it on a laptop, on a tablet, on a phone. I think you can even do it on an Xbox. I mean, really any device
Wow.
that you can, as long as you can be online on the internet, you can do idea. So yes, the modules that you do on idea, the badges, they're all quite self-explanatory. So you can go through them by yourself. But I think I mentioned earlier, it's been really interesting to see, particularly at this time, people who have started little competitions with their friends or colleagues saying, well, I've got this many points now, and they're sort of racing each other to see who can get the bronze award first.
I think that's probably music to a lot of people's ears.
Yeah,
Being able to do it on your phone, tablet, and all that good stuff is makes it so much more accessible these days. I know many households don't even have a household computer anymore. They just all have their own
yeah.
tablets and things like that. So that's fantastic. Uh, Leandromosity, Leandro Misty. Who knows? I'm probably butchering your name, and I'm so sorry. But thank you very much for the follow and your question as well. So, Polly, any advice on how to calm down from worrying about something personal? Not so much digital skills question, but have you got an answer for that as well?
Um, I could say, well, I mean, from my personal experience, I rely on yoga a lot.
Yoga, nice.
So yeah, so yoga. If there was something really worrying me, I would probably get on the yoga mat and maybe do some meditation, focus on breathing. And then look at, I think, it's a really interesting time to start looking at ways that we can develop and grow. So read a book, or I mean, do a badge on idea.
Fantastic idea. I mean,
Um,
personally, I would probably lose myself
I'm
in a video
sorry,
game.
sorry
So
if I'm not the most helpful on sort of personal anxieties, but I do think it helps if you're doing something that you feel is productive and proactive.
it's fine. Sack of potatoes chiming in there as well. As someone who personally struggles to wind down, I can confirm yoga/meditation works. Fair enough. Yeah, I think just find whatever works for you. Personally, I like to play video games, something calm, or on my own, or go for a walk or have a bath. There's just many things you could try, but basically, you've got to find that thing that works for you, and just work through your problem at a slow pace.
Yeah.
Take it easy, and calm down like that. Um, so anyway, back to digital skills. Moving forwards with idea, how would you like to develop more esports content?
So yeah, we would like to work with a variety of different partners, people within the esports space, to help us create content that helps sort of people to understand, I think, to raise awareness around the social element of gaming, which I think is particularly important. I think there's quite a common misconception that gaming is a solitary activity. I mean, Elliot, you'll probably know much more about this than me. But I think, the stuff that esports can help with, from in sort of the broader digital skills perspective, like sort of problem solving, teamwork, strategy, leadership, and communication. It's so valuable, actually, that people understand what it is and why it's important, and why it can be really valuable. I think, particularly at school, and for young people.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, our focus is on schools and young people and their journeys through 12 to sort of university age. So, I mean, one of the biggest things that we out about is the confidence you develop by playing in a team, the
Mm,
friendships and the bonds that you make by playing with people that you might necessarily would never have socialized with. It's the crossover between the clique groups, as it were. So you don't necessarily have to be on the football team to play with a player who's on the football team. You could be the nerdiest, whatever it is, music kid who doesn't socialize with anybody else, but you could be the star player on the team. It's an entirely different game, but it encompasses every background and every friendship group. So one of the really strongest things that we shout about is how you can develop those brand new relationships that you would never have ever imagined socializing in. So yeah, we would love to be involved with idea. Obviously, we've been in discussions with you guys for quite a long time now, and there's some possibilities, I believe.
yes, there are, and I think it's maybe, Elliot, now would be a good time to mention, that we have created a badge on idea, also to recognise the hard work and dedication put in by the students who've been taking part in the esports championships over the weekend. And well, the finals were over the weekend, but it's been going on for a long time.
Mm.
So I think Elliot and you and your team will probably share information about how that badge can be redeemed over the course of the next week. Is
Yeah,
that right?
brilliant. Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much. I was leading into that, of course. But yes, it is now a badge officially on Idea. We will get that shouted about on our socials and our website, so you guys can figure out how to. Well, we'll do the figuring out, and you guys do the signing up. But you can, if you've taken part this year in the championships, you can retroactively gain the Idea badge. And of course, anybody who takes part next year or in future years will also be able to gain it as well. I think, Polly, you might have frozen your video camera.
Lost you then.
Uh, is it me that was frozen? I couldn't work it out. Somebody was frozen.
I couldn't hear what you were just saying,
Okay,
but you're back now.
I think I must have disconnected briefly. Yeah, I was just saying, anybody who's retroactively taken part in last year's seasons will be able to earn the Idea badge, and of course, anybody who's taking part in future seasons will also be able to earn their badge through Idea. So yeah, we'll get more about that coming out to you in the next few days. Hopefully by the end of this week, we'll have a plan of action. So yeah, is there any other questions from anybody in the chat, or Ollie, Polly, is there any more topics that you want to shout about or discuss whilst we're here?
Um, I think that's all from me. Just that, I mean, we have been so impressed by the amount of work that people have been putting in, particularly over this time in lockdown, as I mentioned, to work on their idea badges, to earn their badges, and to achieve awards. It has just been amazing to see everybody. The amount of hard work that's gone into it is yeah. I mean, it's incredible. Very humbling for myself and the rest of the idea team to see so much activity going on the site. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm just going to quickly double check through chat, make sure I haven't missed anything. GM Gamer says, thank you so much for his previous answer. If we have some badge ideas, how can we get in touch with you?
Ah, of course. So you can, if you go on the idea website, there's a contact us button. So you can fill in the form there and get in touch with us. Or the email address is support@idea.org.uk.
Great stuff. And then Sidonator asks, are you a gamer, Polly? And if so, what are you playing?
I am not so much of a gamer in the same sense that everybody else is. But I was inspired yesterday when I had a quick view at the Rocket League final. I signed up and had a little play around on Rocket League, and I really enjoyed it.
It's
Um,
good fun, isn't it?
it's really good fun. Yeah, I love it. And I mean, I grew up on sort of Mario Kart and the Nintendo. When a long time ago. So yeah, I love that.
You're accustomed to driving,
Yeah,
driving games anyway.
driving games I think would be my forte.
Yes, Sack of Potatoes in the chat there. That's Dominic from the British Esports Association. He's got some young children and has just started playing Rocket League with his eldest. So quite excited to see the young professional grow up into the pro scene in a few years' time. Dom, I cannot wait. Any other questions? How's the current virus situation affecting idea? I think you already covered that, so I won't answer that one. You can check it out. The VOD will be released after this show. Righty. Mario Kart, you're definitely a gamer then. Yeah, I think you did qualify as a gamer if you were playing Mario Kart, in your
Yeah.
earlier days. Then that definitely qualifies. So, do you own any consoles at the moment, or do you play any games? With friends or anything like that. Not even on the Wii, or I suppose obviously
Um,
not during lockdown. Obviously,
yeah, no, obviously not during lockdown. Um, so my boyfriend who I live with has, I think it's a PlayStation 4,
okay.
PS4. Um, so sometimes I play a bit of that with him. But he plays lots and lots of Call of Duty, and I'm not the greatest at that. So
It's quite fast paced, isn't it? It's quite
it
fast
is.
paced. Yeah.
It is, and quite scary
Yeah.
sometimes.
Well, it is. Yes. I mean, I'm not shouting about Call of Duty here, but it is a great fast paced shooter action game. Guys, go play it. No, I mean,
Yeah, others are
yeah,
available.
others are available. Yeah. So, question here from AshD001: is there a gold badge? Well, I'll let you answer it. I know you already have, but just quickly for AshD there.
Yeah, so there will be a gold award. We kind of almost never imagined the idea would be as successful as it has been this early on in its existence. So we're a non-profit. The uptake that we've seen has meant that we've had to focus quite a lot of time to make sure that idea is financially able to sustain the rate at which we're growing. So although delayed, development work on the gold award has started. We're just not quite at the stage where we're able to say exactly when it will be live on idea. But hopefully, thank you so much for asking, and hopefully as soon as it is, you'll really enjoy it.
Great stuff. All right, so just a quick recap then. Thank you very much, Polly, for coming to us and talking to us today about idea. Obviously, I've put which way? That way. Underneath Polly's name is the link to the idea website. Go check it out. There's lots of really cool stuff on there, and of course, they are now doing a British Esports Championships badge, which is fantastic for all of our participants. Thank you ever so much, Polly, for getting that organised with us. Thank you, everybody else, for checking out the stream today. This is not the surprise reveal. So please tune in Wednesday at 4 p.m. for the surprise announcement. You'll be with Dominic. He'll give you a nice announcement on Wednesday. Looking forward to that, guys, and take care. Thank you ever so much for joining us today, Polly.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Take care, everybody else, and pleasure to speak to you all. I'll go back to full screen now. Thanks, Polly.
Thanks.
All right, nice one, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching the stream today. Really appreciate it. I know it's Monday morning and we're all probably a bit over the weekend because we've, obviously we had a fantastically busy weekend. But yeah, so good to see you guys all there cheering us on, cheering on all of the students and the participants who took part in the championships. Congratulations to all of our winners, and well done to our runner-ups as well. And thank you again to any hosts, analysts, and editors and observers and admins who are all in the chat. I may have missed one or two of you there, but thank you ever so much. Can I contact you via Twitter? I don't have Twitter, Joe Chatterton. If you want to find Polly, I don't have it, but I'm sure if you go to the idea page, you'll be able to find some more information there. Thank you ever so much, guys. See you soon.